because it's cool beans, you know? I don't know. I love this sticker. It's so cute. Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries for the long-awaited and highly anticipated journey planner setup of 2026. I officially have figured out what I want to use to set up this lovely planner. If you joined me last Sunday, I did a little catch up, I guess, of the unboxing of this, and I placed some yellow sticky notes in here of what I wanted to use each section for. I don't think I've made any major changes, but I think I added a couple things in. So we're going to go through that as I go along. If you are new to my setup videos, please know that they are very long. I take you guys through the entire process of pretty much a blank book to the final product. And there's also no music in this video. So there's just crinkly paper sounds, and there's actually kind of a rainstorm passing through outside. So you may get some of that too in the audio. So yeah, just beware there's no music. There also will be lots and lots of timestamps down in the description, so please reference the timestamps if you're interested in any certain portion of the planner itself. I will also have a full flip through of the finished product at the end from beginning to finish if all you want to see is what the finished product looks like. So there's also a timestamp for that. But I'm going to quit yapping and we're going to get started with the front cover here. I'm just going to go through supplies as I go, because I have a lot of different things I want to use in this book because it is a bigger book. And I also have, yeah, just some things I kind of want to play around with and see how it goes. But for the front cover here, I want to use some vinyls from my shop. And then I also want to use some of these sticker seals from the Coffee Monsters Co. I really am feeling the holographic silver foils this year. I don't know, this is just like calling me. And then I really wanted to do a red theme for the planner because I want to use my red tabs. So I'm going to tie in yet again more of these star stickers. I keep getting questions on where I got these. I honestly cannot tell you. They were in a multi-pack with like 5 or 6 different colors in multiple sheets of each one. I want to say I got them either off of Amazon or at my local Michael's store. That's the best reference I can give you guys. I'm sorry if that's not very helpful, but I'm just trying to use these up because they've been in my stash for a while. Anyways, I'm going to use these holographic silver ones to match the foil on these, and then the red stars to bring out more of the red in like my color theme that I'm kind of going for. The vinyls I want to use here are my planner advisory, the Saturn. I think I called this Retro Saturn. This is a freebie for the month of November and will be coming to my shop soon after that. I have a black Zodiac wheel, a gray 2026, my fountain pen tattoo vinyl, the Dear Diary lock, and then I really want to include this dice dragon on the front of my book because, I don't know, D&D is like a really big thing for me, and I want to put it on the front of my cover for once since I actually have a sticker that I could put there, which I'm really excited for. But I'm just gonna kind of mess around with this for a minute, so just bear with me as I try to figure out how I want to lay things out on this cover here. I definitely want that in the corner because I feel like it's a huge deal. Maybe if I balanced it with the black right there, maybe this one in the middle. I also kind of want to create like my finger's sticky because I had a band-aid on it. I want to create like a diagonal line, and I want to layer these to where they look a bit more seamless, but I'm also trying to balance. So like black, gray, red, and then I think if I do Saturn there, and I can put the nib on top, and then I can just add in, okay, that came together kind of quick. I kind of like that. Might buffer a little bit, and then I think I want to use maybe like this ink sample one and like some of the tiny nibs because they're smaller. But I also thought about doing the world seal from her travel set. I could do the world one up here and then maybe do like the cloud or something down here and then do the like the little samples and nibs in between. I kind of like this idea. So I'm gonna just start sticking stuff down. I do want to preface I sliced my thumb with a piece of cooking equipment, so I am going to be kind of awkwardly handling things because I'm trying not to irritate it. It just looks ugly, but there shouldn't be any issues like where you guys see gross things. But I just want to preface that my hands may look kind of funky while I'm putting this down because I'm trying to protect my thumb. I was gonna leave a band-aid on it, but it's just really awkward to grab stuff with a band-aid on your thumb. I don't know if anybody else has that experience, but it's just challenging to grab stuff with a band-aid on your thumb. But yeah, I'm just gonna place these down. Okay, I kind of like the way that looks, and I think I changed my mind on the seal. I think I'm going to use this cute little round one, and I'm going to stick it like right here in the middle by the fountain pen. I just think that's so precious. And then I think I am going to do the world, and I'm going to do it down here. And then I'm going to do the moon instead of the cloud. And I'm going to do it up here. So it's like a line of shiny in a way. And then I am going to take the tiny nibs. I think I'm just going to do one. I'm going to do one like over here. No, I'm going to do one here in the middle. And then I am going to take the sample ink as well. And I'm going to do that one right there. Okay, and now we're going to go in with the lovely star stickers. And I'm going to use tweezers because my thumb. And we're just going to place these kind of sporadically around the sides just to add in pops of color. Ooh, I love how bright that looks. Okay, cool. I'm not going to go too ham with these because I don't want them to be just overpowering. But I do want them to be present. And I am going to, I think, do how I've done before and like have some going off the side of the book. So I think I'm going to take one here and just cut it in half. Or kind of in half. And then take the edge. Actually, I'm going to do the 3-point on the top here. And then do the 2-point on this side. And I'm not making this like super flush to the edge, by the way. There's like a millimeter between the edge of the star sticker and the cover, just so I can have a little bit of space. If I need it for the clear cover, so it's not going to like rub the sticker out of place. And then I am going to add some of these silver stars in here as well. And I am going to overlap some of them, but not all of them. And I think I'm going to do one more. I guess I'll do one more up there, like right here. And then lastly, I am going to do some page freckles. I just have really been enjoying doing the page freckles. It's essentially just polka dots, but I'm going to do it with a Sharpie since I'm doing the cover, and the material of this cover is like a, it's like a PU leather, so it holds up well to using a Sharpie on it, at least in my experience. But we're just going to add a little bit of dots to take up some of the negative space around the images, and it just, I don't know, I feel like it just completes the look. And it's really easy because it's just little polka dots. Okay, and I think that is all I want to do for the front cover. I love how holographic that looks. That's so cool. I thought about doing like stripes or something on the corners just to make it look more like a path, but I think I'm going to leave it like it is for now and do the back cover with you guys. So I'm going to take the clear cover and just rest it underneath the planner. I'm not going to slip the planner in the clear cover, but I just want to protect the front because my desk is covered in inky stuff. So I'm going to just set this on the clear so that way it doesn't rub off on the front of the stickers. For the back cover, I really want to use vinyls that are either ones I've gotten from shops or ones that I don't know, I just really want to use this giant in and out sticker I have. So there's something y'all need to know about me if you don't already, is I love In-N-Out Burger. It's probably one of my favorite places to go eat at if I'm wanting something not cooked at home. It's just easy. It's always good. The service is great. Yeah, so I have this giant sticker from In-N-Out, and I also have a sticker from Buc-ee's, and I have this lovely sticker that was sent to me from a viewer. So I really want to use all three of these on the back here to just kind of, I don't know, it's just funny because like it's in and out, I guess. I don't know. But I think I'm going to do a similar concept where it's like a diagonal. So on the front cover, I did diagonal from spine to edge. So I think on the back cover, I'm going to just do the same thing from spine to edge. And we're just going to stick these down and then add some stars to kind of correlate. I thought about doing the vinyl, or not the vinyl, the vellum like I've done previously, but I think I'd rather do this giant In-N-Out sticker to show my love for In-N-Out once and for all on a planner, because I feel like I've written about In-N-Out so many times, especially with this planner having the meal section in it. I'm pretty sure In-N-Out was written in my 2025 book multiple times. If you've never been to a Buc-ee's, by the way, it is a gas station that is very famous in Texas, and I think spreading in the South as well. And yeah, you get a sticker with items you buy clothing-wise. The tags are stickers. So this one was a t-shirt that I think I bought, and this tag is a sticker. So I'm going to use the sticker in my planner, of course. And then I think this one is meant to be about Florida, but I really liked it because it's got a gator on it and it says it's not the heat, it's the humidity. And if there's one thing about Texas summers is they can get pretty humid. I wouldn't say as humid as other other places, but it definitely does get warm and sticky here. And I'm just gonna, oops, pull this off. And I just thought this was a nice kind of fun vinyl to balance, ooh, that stuck, balance the corner here. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. Okay, now we're gonna add some stars. And I also felt like this matched kind of like my red theme that I'm going for, because there's red in the Buc-ee's hat, and there's red in the flag behind In-N-Out, and there's red in this sticker too. I'm embracing my red, which I never thought I would do. I'm gonna be honest. I've never been a huge fan of the red things, but lately I've just been really, I don't know, I've really been enjoying red as a color. My path is shifting. I can feel it. I'm just gonna cut this one in half like I did before. And I'm not doing these super close to the spine either, just in case the spine needs to flex a little bit, which likely will happen since I only have this planner for 2026, which I'm really excited about. So I'm not going to have like a few months in another planner. It's all going to be in this one book this year, because I officially have moved on from the 𝗦𝘂𝗫𝗁 cousin, which feels so awkward to say. But this is like the first year I have not bought a 𝗦𝘂𝗫𝗁 cousin in 5 years, 6 years. I don't even know. It's kind of scary, but I truly love the Journey Planner so much. I feel like it has fit my life so well, and yeah, I'm very happy with this. Anyways, and there's the back cover. I think it's so pretty. I love it. It's like business in the front, party in the back. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do, I think, the inner covers before I slip the clear cover on, but I am just gonna leave the clear cover down so that way the book rests on that. Yeah, and to do the inside cover, I really want to use some new tapes from the Washi tape shop, which actually, if you didn't know, they are having a massive Black Friday sale going on right now. It's 20% off. They have free shipping over, I think, $20 in your cart. And yeah, they have some really beautiful tapes out right now. And the ones I'm actually going to use are part of their winter tapes, which I was not planning on using a winter tape for a planner because it's a year-round thing. But the colors in this is so perfect. They're kind of like a muted tan and a white gray with a very light blue, and it looks a bit more of like a dried flower, and I really love the vintage look of that. What I'm kind of going for in this planner is like the decoration to be a bit more of like a neutral color, and then all of my fountain pen inks that I use throughout the year are going to be a bit more crazy. Anyways, back to the Washi Tape Shop. You can use code Danielle10 for 10% off, or like I said, just shop their Black Friday sale. They have 20% off right now. I think it's with code Friday, and they have so many gorgeous tapes. I'm going to use this tape, the other one, which is like the sister to this tape, which this one has the letters on it, which is the ones I really want to use. And then I also have some butterflies and might use a PET tape, and yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Washi Tape Shop, in case y'all didn't know. Anyways, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the Kiss Cut flowers off of the tape and just kind of randomly place them on this side of the page. And then on the other side, I'm going to make this like my nameplate page, using the letters from the Washi Tape Shop, maybe numbers. I haven't decided yet how I want to do it yet. I kind of want to play around. But for now, I'm just going to start sticking down the florals off of this one. And I'm going to just do it very randomly and see how it comes together. Like, there's going to be absolutely no rhyme or reason to this. It's just going to be entirely random. And I really want to do the washiing or the wallpapering this way this year, just because I want to see how it goes. I don't know, like, I feel like I always do big strips, but maybe I should start doing like a collage of similar stickers in a way and see how it turns out. So we're just gonna play around with this for a little bit. Okay, this is going to look a little chaotic for a minute, and I just need to tell myself to trust the process. Like most art, when you start, you're like, what in the world am I doing here? And then as it goes, everything starts like coming together and it looks right. So I'm just trying to tell myself I need to trust the process, because it's going to look a little chaotic for a minute while I try to fill in all of the spaces. But I just have to say, since, I don't know, I really do love the washi tape shop. I love these Kiss Cut sticker tapes because they make it so easy to use. Everything is already pre-cut. They have washi, they have PET tape, like they have all of the things that I really enjoy using. And it's easy. It's so easy. Okay, let's see what other florals we got on here. I'm not using the kind of more cut out florals, just because I don't think that's really what, like, the image I'm going for with this. But I do like those, and I think they'd be really fun to like use in journaling purposes, like right around the edges of the sticker. How is this coming along? Is it looking okay? Does it look too crazy? I'm feeling self-conscious. I'm sure it's fine. Okay, so that's all of the loose florals for that. Let's keep on going through the ones that's on here. I don't think I'm going to use a whole like strip. Like, I don't know if I'm going to make it to like the repeating pattern, I guess is what I mean. We shall see though. I might. I don't know why, but I really like the way this is coming together. Like, it just looks like wallpaper, but it's unique completely to me in the random order that I put all of these down, which is so cool. Like, nobody else is going to be able to really, I guess, have this unless they copy, like, replicate it so entirely. Which, if that happens, props to that person that you were paying that close attention. But I don't know, I really like the way this looks, and I really like the colors in this tape. Because they're so muted. Okay, I think I'm going to add... Do I want to add anything else? No, I think I'm gonna leave it like it is. I really like this, so I'm not gonna do anything else on this side. Okay, so now on this side, I want to figure out how to do either my name using the letters of this, or I might just do 2026, like 2026 with the numbers. I don't know. Because I feel like if we're just holding the tape here, I can fit like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters across. If I smoosh them together, maybe 7. And my name is DANIELLE, which is 8 letters. And I don't think that's going to fit. And I don't really want to do vertical, although that is an option. I think I'm just going to do the 2026. So let me pull out the 2, the 0, and I'm going to try to be very delicate with these because they're very well kiss cut with like hollow centers and everything. And then I need to roll through the tape a little bit farther to get to another 2, but there's at least a 6 right here that I can use. Okay, use this one right here. Yes. Okay, so we have 2026. And I think I'm going to just put this in the dead center of the page. Or try my hardest. To be as center as possible. I'm not going to stick it all the way down in case I need to move it. Is that centered? Can you tell me? As if you're here with me. I think it's centered enough. I think this one needs to move up just a little bit. Yay. Okay, I love that. I love that so much. Okay, wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll this tape back up. So give me just a second. Okay, both of those tapes are rolled up. I think I'm going to handwrite Danielle's 2026 and then put memories on the bottom because I do use this book as mainly like a place to keep my memories and like journaling and like scrapbooky type things in the back of like the daily pages. And I just feel like that's going to be a better fit. So I'm going to turn this slightly sideways because that's the best way I can write with my position of my desk. And I'm going to do my best to center this, and I'm not even going to second guess it. I'm just going to start writing because if I try to trace it out, I may mess it up. So here we go. And I'm just going to go back through and embolden the downstrokes. And this is a Pentel signed brush pen. It's meant to be used like a brush pen, but sometimes I don't want the line to be super thick until after I've already written. And I just feel like I wasn't sure if I wanted a thicker downstroke with this. But I think it'll look better with the thicker downstroke after already writing it. Okay, and that's pretty centered. And now I'm going to write memories underneath it. And I think I'm going to just do a script for that as well. Memories. It's okay to sound it out. And again, I'm going to go back through and just kind of embolden those downstrokes just a smidge to make them a little bit thicker. The S is kind of weird, but it is what it is. I love this. This turned out way better than I was envisioning. The question I have now is, do I add in stars or do I just leave it like it is? Oh, the questions. I feel like the stars are going to distract from the more natural look of this. So I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. I don't know. Do I do 1 star maybe? I'm not going to stick it down. I just want to see what it might look like. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Maybe I'll come back and look at it and be like, yes, I need that. But for now, I can't do it. Okay, I'm just going to leave this page like it is for the moment. And then actually, okay, never mind. I see it. I lost my tape runner and it was literally just sitting right in front of my face. Anyways, I'm going to glue this page onto this page. And if you've never glued a Flyleaf page down before, this would be my recommendation, is to put the tape or the glue or whatever sticky substance you're using onto the harder sheet of paper, and do it in a way that is not going to be taking up the whole page, because if you glue everything on the page, it's going to look a little bit lumpier, versus if you just do like the corners and maybe like a few strips in the middle, you're going to have a cleaner look. And if you're worried about like the page separating, you can also do a little bit on the edges. But I would not recommend doing glue over everything. That's not, I feel like it adds a little bit of lumpiness to the page. I'm also going to grab a pencil board. And the reason why I picked red, by the way, is because I have this pencil board that I want to use for this planner. And we're just going to slowly slide the page over. So I'm going to put the pencil board on this side of the page, and using my hand and keeping this flat, I'm going to push the page over with the pencil board, and it helps just keep it from being super lumpy. And it adheres it all the way down nice and flat with no crinkles. And if you're curious, I got that trick from Siobhan over at Just Scribble. She's amazing. Highly recommend her channel. I'm using one of her planners this year too, and I'm super excited about it. But let me go ahead and recenter this, and we will keep on going. So now we're at the year at a glance pages. When I talked about this, I definitely want to use the 2026 side for my pain tracking and menstruation. So we're going to create a key for this page, but on this other page, I'm going to just cover this up with a dashboard, or a vision board, or I don't really know what to call this. I call it a dashboard, but I think it's vision board would probably be the correct term. It's basically a collection of images that I put together on Canva and printed out on sticker paper, and I'm just going to plop it straight down onto the page. So the images I have here are like money, Bitcoin. I picked images that correlate to like my goals for 2026. So I'm hoping to do a bit more with like investing and like money management. I also have some gardening tools here. I want to get back into gardening for 2026 since I hopefully will have a bit more time. And then I have a fountain pen here, books, and the dandelion, which kind of all correlate with like my hobbies / business. And then I have baby feet because I'm hoping to become a mom in 2026. Learn languages. I'm still slowly becoming more and more conversational in Spanish, and I'm also learning Japanese. I have a body image of an influencer I like to follow, her workouts and stuff, and I feel like we have very similar body types, so this would be like a goal body for me at some point in my life. I have travel down here with maps and an airplane. I'm hoping to do more travel in 2026. I have a crystal here and then some planets, and all of that is a bit more for like manifestation purposes and learning a bit more about astrology and things I love on that aspect. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stick this full page sticker down on this side using the exact same trick I just used with the pencil board, but I'm also going to fold over the edge of it. So I'm going to just take the edge of the sticker. I'm going to take the edge of the sticker and fold down just like a 1/2 inch of the backing on the back side. Since it is a full page sticker, I risk accidentally sticking the whole thing down to the page before I'm ready and then having to try to move it around, and that is not really what I want to do. So yeah, I am going to bring this close to myself so I can line it up with the edge, and then I'll be back in a second. So all I did was stick down the edge here, and the rest of this is completely loose, and I'm going to use that same trick with the pencil board, and I'm just going to put the edge of the pencil board onto the part that's already stuck on the planner, flip the sticker over, and then slowly peel off the backing while I use the pencil board to squish down the sticker. And this is going to be a bit challenging because of the way the book is. So I'm going to grab another book. I have a physical book here. This is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And I'm just going to use that to support the back of the page, just because this is one of the first pages in the planner and is a bit hard to press down on since it's so like thin. Like there's not enough pages, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But we're just going to go nice and slow and push and make sure it's as straight as can be. And it curled a little bit, but I'm pretty satisfied with that. I think I can manage to live with that. All right, now let's go ahead and make the key for this other side. I'm just going to gently lift off my sticky note here. And I'm going to use one of the stickers in my shop for this that I just released for Black Friday. I'm going to use one of these key header stickers, and I'm going to do, I think, the medium size. And this little notepad is from the Coffee Monsters Co. It's just a plain dot grid little notebook here. Yeah, I think it's like a notepad. And I'm going to choose 3 colors because I track 3 different things typically. And I'm going to use the Zig Clean Colored Dot markers. Yeah. So I actually needed 4. So I'm going to do red for menstruation. I'm going to do this light green one called Kiwi for my digestion. I'm going to use the yellow one called Summer Sun for my headaches. And I'm going to use the darker blue one here called just Blue for my down days or like depression episodes, mental health badness. And I'm just going to dot these down on the sheet. And then I'm going to use just the Uni Jetstream with the black ink to write out what each thing means next to it. Okay. And then I'm going to basically come over here and glue it backwards like this to the page, or not glue it, but like use a little piece of tape so that way it acts as like a little flip out. But before I do that, I'm going to write out the actual name of what I'm calling this. So I'm just going to call it the pain tracking, or I should say, yeah, I'm going to call it pain tracking because that's really what it is, the things that bring me pain. And then the tape that I'm going to use is this gingham plaid buffalo. I don't know what pattern of plaid this is, but this is just a plaid tape from Lauren Phelps Designs that I've had for a little while, and I like the colors, so I'm going to use this to stick down the key, and I need to make sure it's the right direction up. So I'm just going to put an edge of this like on the center of the plain paper. That's kind of centered, not really. I'm going to move it. And then I think I'm going to cut the bottom of this off just because of the rounded corner. Or actually, no, I'm going to leave it. And then when I find my corner rounder, I'm just going to round these other corners. But I'm just going to stick this down right here on the edge of the page. And then this is how it's going to work when I want to use the key. I'll just flip it over and it looks fantastic. I really like that. Yeah, I am going to add a star because I want to. So we're just going to add a nice little star to the edge here to add a little bit of extraness, because why not? Okay, let's keep going. The next pages are the blank pages, and these are going to take me a minute to do with you guys. But I want to do an adulting log on this side, and then a 52 weeks cleaning tracker on this side. This might be a little bit more labor intensive on showing you guys exactly what I'm putting on the pages, but to give you an example, and I've kind of shown this I think before, this is how I've done it in my current book, and I'm essentially going to be recreating the same thing, but we're going to make it a little bit different. So let me just get myself situated for a second here. Okay, I'm going to start with the adulting log on this page, and we're going to put that book back underneath it so I have a little bit more support to write on. And I'm going to just do a very small bordering of washi at the top here. This one is from Simply Gilded, I believe. It's just like a navy with some copper stars. And I'm just going to line the top. Not like super crazily or anything, but just to add a little bit of something to the page so it's less threatening. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a log sticker. I think the medium size again. And I'm going to just do a log right there and then a little dash. And then I'm going to write down adulting in print. And then we're going to grid out the page so I can have the January, February through December at the top, and then the tasks that I'm checking off on the side over here. So I'm just going to do just in case I need to do two, I'm going to do it right on the edge over here. I'm just going to draw a line. January, February, March, April. I'm going to leave two spaces. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. And that way, if I need to have a second column, I can do that. I don't think I will, but I want to have the option. And if not, I'm just going to extend either the cleaning tracker up this way or just do like some decoration or something right here with washi tape or PET tape or something. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And you could just do 1 through 12 up here. I'm just doing the first initial of the month because that's what I like to do, at least now, for now. Okay, I do have an entire list of everything that I am going to be putting on this tracker. I printed this out to like help guide me while I do this. And so if you want to take a screenshot of this in case you're curious and zoom in, I will read all of this off after I write it down, but I'm going to go ahead and just write down everything using this jet stream, and then I'll voice over and read off what's on the list here. Okay, so the very long list of things that I have on my adulting log kind of relate mostly to the house and a little bit to the garden. I feel like I add more and more to this list every single year as like the longer I become a homeowner, but it's fine. First things on here are for home, and it's my mattress pad, making sure I'm changing that out or washing it, rotating our mattress, changing out my toothbrush head, changing out the razor in my shower, getting myself a haircut, which isn't necessarily a monthly task, but maybe like every 3 months. dental cleanings, nails done, or nails, cuticles, all that kind of stuff, like a spa type of day. I usually do that once a month just to have maintenance. Changing out the dish sponge in the kitchen, cleaning out our fridge. I try to do that once, if not twice a year, where I take everything out and clean the shelves really good, and the doors and everything. Sometimes monthly, it depends on how gross the fridge gets, but usually it's like every 6 months is what I aim for. Cleaning out our pantry, just making sure that taking out expired goods, getting rid of foods we're not eating anymore, donating things, cleaning the shelves, all that kind of good stuff. Cleaning our oven, I also like to do that once or twice a year, especially around the holidays. Changing out our water filters, which is usually every 3 months to every 6 months. Air filters, which is usually every other month because we have 4 dogs. Checking our smoke detector batteries, which most of the time they're fine. I don't think I've changed them in a while, so they may go off this next year, who knows. Cleaning our baseboards, cleaning our blinds, cleaning the washer and dryer, cleaning the paper shredder, and then the rest of this stuff is mainly like outdoor home things and car things. So doing the oil change, registration, cleaning our car, changing out all of the bedding in the chicken coop, cleaning our dogs, whether we're bathing them, doing flea treatments, claw managements, chicken wormer, basically cleaning out our AC units, cleaning out our water heater. I added that new to the list this year because I've been seeing a lot of things about making sure you maintain your water heater, and I really don't want to have to change ours because it's a pain in the ass. And then watering my plants indoors, and then mowing and taking care of the lawn in the front and the back of our house. Okay, that's everything I have on the adulting log. It's a pretty long list, and I'm sure I will find more things to add to it for 2026 as the year goes on. Okay, now that the adulting log is done, I'm going to go ahead and flip this direction to do the cleaning tracker. So last year I did it where essentially this was 25 weeks on the top and then another 25 weeks on the bottom, and I think I want to do that again. But I'm thinking I want to better kind of space out all of the rooms, because I forgot some of the rooms that I want to keep track of cleaning in our house on this tracker. So that's why I have a list over here. So I'm going to start at the bottom of just the actual list of items I want to keep track of on this side. And then once I reach all of the way up, actually, no, I'm not going to write them down. I'm going to count, and then I'm going to make a line with the marker here. This is a Staedtler Tri-Plus fine liner in light gray, if I didn't say that already. But okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 spaces that I want to do. So we'll do one space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I need a ruler. Ruler, hello. Where did I put it? It's literally right in front of my face. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and recount that since I just want to double check. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I'm gonna draw a line. I'm only gonna go that far though, because I don't think I'm going to need all this space over here, because this is going to be week 26 through 52. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, actually, I might need more space. Let me write out the rooms on this bottom. I'm basically going backwards doing this, so hopefully I'm not going to mess myself up, but we shall see. I mean, it's very possible. Worst case, I will just cover this up with another sheet of paper or a sticker and then move it to the back of the book or something. But I'm going to just start off by writing the rooms down. So the rooms that I wrote down are my reading room / library / fireplace / living room, dog area, kitchen, dining room, laundry room, porch, media room, guest bedroom, bathrooms, master bedroom, office, entryway, music room, garage, and craft space. So there's actually 15, not 14. different sections of my house that I'm keeping track of. And I think I'm going to go ahead and draw a line to kind of break where I want the actual like week counting to start. And that is not a straight line, and I used a ruler. Oh well. And then I'm going to write 26 through 52 on this line right here, since that is the second half of the year in weeks, since there's 52 weeks in a year. Wow, I drew the perfect size line. That's crazy. And then I'm going to go ahead and do, I think, a small strip of the skinny washi. How did I do this last year? Let me look. Let me look at my thing really quick. Okay, yeah, I did like a small strip of the skinny washi to break up the section. And I think I'm going to do that again. But I'm not going to drag it all the way to the edge of the page over here, because I may either put my header on this side or I may do some other kind of decoration. But I'm going to go ahead and count, not really count, I guess, just start writing the same rooms above this until I reach the final spot. Let me just count. I'm just, yeah, yes. I'm sure I'm sounding kind of crazy. It's fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15. We count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And I'm just going to draw a line. And then write out the rooms. Okay, and then I'm going to take that fine liner again and just draw another line across the top here. And I'm going to try to match it with the same length as the one on the bottom, so that way it's even. And then this is going to be weeks 1 through 25. I accidentally did 26. I did one too many. Let me see if I can find my whiteout. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I just don't want it to be super noticeable, so I'm just going to white that out just a smidge. Okay, so we have weeks 1 through 25, weeks 26 through 52, and I think I'm going to add this strip of this washi up here, just so it matches the one on the bottom. And then I think I'm going to add the title up here, and maybe some kind of sticker. I think for now I'm just going to do the title, and then later if I decide I want to put a sticker down, I will. But I want to keep this a bit more simple for right now. Do I want to do the title this direction though? Or this direction? I think I'm going to change it back to this direction. Yeah, where's my... Okay, so I'm going to do 50... Man, my thumb hurts, jeez. 2 weeks. And then I'm going to do cleaning. And then put tracker right underneath that. I love that. That looks so good. Okay, yes. I'm enjoying this. I'm going to do a little 2 dots like that on the side, just to frame it a little bit. Okay, I'm going to leave it like this for now, and then maybe I'll come back in with some decoration at some point, but I am satisfied with this, and we are going to keep moving on. Oh boy. All right, so the next section is the goals, and I'm going to do some of this with you guys on camera, and then I'm going to finish the rest of it off camera because I have to write it all out, and it's going to take me a decent amount of time, I would say. But this is essentially what I'm going to do again. So this is my current goals spread, so I'm going to do this exact same thing, and I'm going to have the same kind of goals, goal categories at the top. So I'm going to have health, wealth, mental, spirit, social, and inspire. And I am going to do essentially the same kind of, I guess, coloring that I did before. I really liked how it looked, so I want to do it again. And I think I'm going to leave it, I don't know, do I want to do it more colorful or not? Let's think about this, because the stickers, like the butterflies I used for last year, are different than the butterflies I want to use for this year. So these are the other tape. This is the other tape from the washi tape shop that I'm going to use for sure. And these butterflies are a bit more muted looking. Should I still do like the rainbow of colors at the top, or should I just do like one color, like a tan marker or something? I think I'm just gonna do one color this year. I think I'm gonna do like a light, either like a light yellow, like a buttery yellow color, or a light tan. And then I will come back and fill in the actual goals. But let me grab a light tan marker. I'm just going to use another one of these Zig Clean Color dot markers. This one is the oatmeal color. Before I do that, I am going to cover up the top part up here where it says the words for the goal spread. So I'm going to cover up where it says goals, action steps, first quarter. I'm covering all of this up with my tape. And if you're cringing at the rough edges of my washi tape, I'm sorry. I just can't be bothered to make it a clean cut. I just can't be bothered. And then I am going to take, I think, my goals script stickers, and I'm just going to stick this one up here at the top, and it's not going to cover the whole thing, so I'm going to do some surgery here to the page and just white out the whole thing, and then stick this down. I like that. And then I'm going to take the oatmeal Zig Clean Color dot marker, and I'm just going to gently color in these top boxes. And then while this is drying, I'm going to categorize the rows as well. And then once that's done, hopefully this will be dry enough to write on top of, and it's not going to bleed through the page. We shall see. So far, I am pretty happy with the paper. The paper is a little bit, it seems to be doing better than last year's paper already. This did bleed through, it didn't really bleed through, it just ghosted really heavy on that side. Let's see how it did on the back of this one. Yeah, it's just heavy ghosting, which is normal for this paper, to ghost a little bit. I do find that some markers do better than others, but I think it's doing okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the side over here. I'm going to use a fountain pen. This is the Pilot Black ink. So let's see how this does on the paper. And I'm just going to do a titling of each row. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, but it basically is going to be daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, half year, 1 year, and then someday. And I am going to kind of format this the same way that I did last year. Again, I know it's like just doing the same thing over and over again, but so I did 1 row for daily, 1 row for weekly, 2 rows for monthly, 1 row for quarterly, 1 row for half year, 2 rows for 1 year, and then 1 row for someday. And I'm just going to follow that same pattern for this current year. And on that note, I think I am going to embolden those rows a bit. So I'm going to take another fine liner. This one's a little bit darker. I think this one's like dark gray. And I'm going to go ahead and outline those rows so they're a little bit more, like I said, emboldened or bold. And I'm just going to slowly move my way across, just so the rows are a bit more defined. I think it'll look a bit better, like a little bit more standout-ish. Is that a word? Standout-ish? I don't know. But you see why I love this ruler so much? Because it's so flexible. It's wonderful. Okay, now that all of those are outlined, let me take my pen here and we're just going to write out the headers of these rows. So the one on the bottom here is going to be daily, and then we have weekly, and then monthly, and then quarterly, and then half year, and then 1 year, and then someday. Okay, and like I said, I will fill out the rest of this off camera, but I am going to go ahead and title the page, and then I think we're going to be done with this section. And at the end, when I do a full flip through, you'll see how this looks. I'll go back in with those butterfly stickers and just fill in the empty spaces, but it's pretty straightforward from that. But yeah, it's easier for me to just explain my goals after I've written all of them down versus try to write and talk at the same time. So yeah, that's all I got. But I'm going to go ahead and write out the categories. So we have health as my first category, wealth as my second, and then mental, which is essentially like mental health, but also like mental learning. So the languages I want to learn, books I want to read, things like that. Spirit is like my spiritual type of goals. So things I want, like next year I want to read the entire Bible. I also want to get more into my astrology practice and kind of dive more into that and go from there. And then social, which I did really well in my social goals for 2025. Inspiration. And then the last one is inspire. So like social goals are more of like hanging out with family and friends. It's basically just like keeping my social network intact, because I can get pretty reclusive at times. And then the inspiration one is a bit more of like travel, doing things that inspire me. So that's kind of just those goals in a nutshell. But I'm gonna move on to the next section and I will fill this out without you guys. But look at the paper. The paper! Oh, I'm so happy the paper is behaving so much better. That, you have no idea how happy that makes me. Wow, okay, yay, yay. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. So now we're going to move into the quarterly section of the planner, and this one is a section of the planner that I really am trying to figure out how I want to use. I know for sure I want to do monthly snapshots of my garden. Like I want to use this whole section for my garden. So I think I'm going to just title out all of these sections using my Pentel sign brush pens. And I did pick like a color for every single month that I've been consistent with in other planners. So I think I'm just going to reuse those same colors here. And then at the top on the quarterly sections, I am not 100% set on what I want to do with this yet. So I am going to cut this sticky note down and just leave it in the top, because I don't know if I want to do like a quarterly tracker or if I want to do a quarterly recap. I'm not set on anything for that section yet, but I am going to go ahead and just color the monthly bits with my Pentel sign brush pens. So January is this kind of like a bluish color, and I'm just going to write these out. Actually, you know, I know I'm not. I'm going to just leave this page alone for now, because I may change my mind and want to do more neutral things for this. Yeah, sorry. I'm going to just leave this like it is for the moment and come back to it. To give you a reference on what might happen with it, it may look something like this, because this is how I did the colors for last year and I like it, but I think if I did like a more neutral and then did colored pen in each square, it might look more fun. That's why I'm hesitant to do just the colored banners. We shall see. But this is essentially what it may turn into, with just like snapshots of the garden. So we're going to just move on. Okay, next we have the Perpetual Calendar / Calendex section of this. And I'm going to go ahead and do my important events with you guys. Actually, let me just, yeah, because it's already been like I've already been filming for over an hour and a half. So let me just show you guys what this looks like. This is from my B6 plans. This is another planner I'm using for 2026, but essentially it's going to have this. So these are like the important dates and stuff. I'm just going to copy this over into this other planner and then add in precipitation. It's just easier for me to do that off camera because it's so tiny. Yeah, like I don't know how to describe it to you other than just like, this is what it'll look like in the end, because I'm going to go back in here and add all of these little dates and stuff to the section. Like I'm going to just add them in, and then the precipitation will be on the left part of the column. So I guess I can split the columns in half with you guys. I can do that for sure. And then I will add all of the dates and other things off camera, just because it's going to take me a little bit longer and I don't want this video to be that long, just because yeah, I feel like that's a lot to edit. But I'm going to basically leave 4 squares on each column. So the first 4 squares will be dedicated to the precipitation of that day. I'll track the high temperature and the low temperature, and then if it rains or snows, I don't write down. I do use a dot marker and I will dot on top of the weekday. But I can go ahead and just trace all of these out. Okay, well, there's that. That's all I'm really going to do, and I'm only going to do the first 6 months with you guys, because I'm going to leave the second half for a later time to fill out as well. Yeah, not really much else I can use for this section. Same with the habit tracker sections. I don't really have anything I can set up with you now. I can just show you how I've used it before. So I'm going to have all my habits over here, and then like check them off, and then use this other section for notes or decoration like this. and then have a weekly recap in the middle part here where I'll just write down a sentence for the week of like what happened. Again, I'm not going to do any of this before the year starts. I'm just going to use it as the year goes. So nothing really to set up here. I'm just going to keep moving on. And same with the next section being the meal planning. I don't really have anything I can set up here either because it's going to be, I use it as the planner goes on. And this is how I've been using the meal planner section in this planner, is just keeping track of like all my different meals that I've had, what restaurants I've gone to, using the stickers and stuff to just decorate, using the groceries column to actually track groceries or any kind of supplements I was taking. Yeah, it's used on a weekly basis. There's no setup I can do for that right now. But yeah, let's keep going into the next section, which should be the monthlies, I believe. And it is. And the first monthly in here is the 2025 of December. So I'm not going to use this as a monthly for 2025 December. Instead, I'm going to use it as a collections page. I've really been enjoying using the extra monthlies in the planners as collection pages. And in my Facebook group or in the Journey Planner Facebook group, I don't remember which one, but somebody mentioned they did 25 things of 2025 or top 25 things of 2025 for their planner. So I kind of want to do a spin on that and do 26 recipes of 2026. Because this planner does have meal planning and meal tracking, I want to keep track of recipes in here too. And I feel like the bigger squares might give me a little bit better representation of like what I cooked, like 5-star rating or not, or how it went. So I'm just going to decorate this page a little bit with a vinyl, and the vinyl I chose is Cool Beans from the Coffee Monsters Co. I felt this was perfect, and I am just going to do a little bit of washi on the edges here to cover up the December part, and then also the weekdays. So that way it's just going to be the numbers showing on the monthly page. My goal is 26 recipes, but if we go all the way to 31 or even to the extra sections over here, that's fine. But the goal is 26 since it's the year of 2026. The washi I have here is from Planner Monkey Co. It is just some beautiful navy butterflies, and I felt like it matched the navy skinny tape that I'm using from Simply Gilded really well. So I'm just going to place this down to cover up a little bit of the writing, and then use the skinny washi that I keep misplacing and cover up the weekdays up here. And then to balance, I'm just going to add a little strip of the skinny on the bottom as well. So that way the page is balanced. And then I'm going to stick down the Cool Beans sticker because it's cool beans, you know? I don't know. I love this sticker. It's so cute. And I'm just going to stick it in the corner. And then I went ahead and picked one of the numerology stickers from my shop. This is 888. It stands for like love, manifestation, that kind of stuff. And to me, cooking is a form of love. I love cooking for people. There's just something about it that I really enjoy. And I felt like this one was a really good match for this, like the intentions I have for this section, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so that is down. The last thing I want to do here is title the page. And I'm just going to do it over here on the side. And I'm going to do 26 recipes of 2026. I'm going to put the 26 in quotes just in case. Okay, and then I'm going to add some stars, and I think I'm just going to use one red star and then maybe 2 of the silver stars, because I want to bring out the red tomato that's over here on the can of beans. This is so silly. I have an obsession with beans. It's fine. And then we're going to take the red stars. And we're just going to do 1 right there. See, red, red, it balances so well. And then I am going to add a little bit of page freckles. I'm just going to use my fountain pen for this. And this section is done. So hopefully when I either make a recipe or come across a really fun recipe, I will write it in the box and then maybe rate it or write a little bit about it. So we shall see how that goes. But this section is done. And if you're curious about paper quality, again, it's behaving beautifully. There's no bleed through. I'm so happy. Like, so happy. Okay, next is the monthlies, the actual monthlies. And I'm going to use my kits for the months of this planner. So these are the new Floral Fantasy A5 kits from my shop. They're currently up and running and Black Friday sale is still going. So if you want to snag these for a 20% off discount, definitely check it out. But I'm going to essentially just set up January, and then as the year goes on, I'll set the months up, because I don't like to do them all up front in the A5 planner because this book gets really chunky and I don't want the page to be super lumpy while I'm working with it. So I'm just going to set up January with you guys, and then we will do, we'll keep going in the planner. And then I'm going to set the rest of these to the side for the year to use as the planner goes on. Okay, so these kits are sized for 1.3 inch columns, and Nisha's planners have 1.3 inch columns, just like the 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗍 cousin does. So I'm just going to place the weekday headers at the top down. And then I'm going to take the artwork square and stick it as close to the edge of this as I can. Oops. That's kind of not centered, but it's fine. And then I'm going to take the monthly name sticker underneath that and stick that underneath the artwork square. And then, do I want to do this the same as I've done before, or do I want to wait and do the rest of it at another time? I think I'm going to wait and do the rest of it when I decide to start using the planner, so that way I can set up the monthly exactly how I want. But essentially this is how every month will start, with just like the top part colored in, and then I'll fill out the monthly as I go. And yeah, we're going to leave that in that section. And actually, no, I'm not, because I don't want to lose it. I'm going to stick it with the rest of those. And we're going to move on to the next section of the book, which is the weeklies, which again, I will not be setting up because I'm not going to use them until I start using the planner. And then we have the dailies, which again, I won't be using right now to set up because it'll just be once I start using the planner. And I think the last few things in here we need to do are tabs and then the back pages. So let me do the back pages first, like the notes pages, and then we will do the tabs, because the tabs are going to take me a minute. But the first note page in here, I want to do an end of the year review, so I'm just going to leave that sticky note on that page, and then I want to set up my reading log. So I think I want to format this the same as how I did last year in my planner, because this worked really well for me. And it's basically a table. So I have the date that I read date I started reading the book, date I finished reading the book, the number of pages in the book, the book title, the author of the book, my 5-star rating, or rating out of 5 stars, and then notes about the book as well. And then I bordered the page with some PET tape. So basically, I'm going to be doing the same thing because I like how this works for me in this planner. So I'm going to start off by doing the bordering of the page, and the tape that I want to use is from 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗍𝗍𝗍, and it kind of matches the tape from the front because it's like the neutral, more floral-y type things, but this is the neutral shabby fabric flowers from 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗍𝗍𝗍, and this is what I want to use for the back here. And I'm just going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm just going to cut 4 out for the moment. And the way I like to do this is I'm basically just going to cut each one of these in half. And since this is on, like it's like kiss cut like a sticker, I'm just going to cut in a zigzag pattern so that way they're not completely centered, because I don't want the, like, one of them can be centered, but I don't want all of them to be centered, because if they're all centered, then it's not going to, like, it's going to look too, I don't know how to describe it, like, it's not going to be awkward enough. I don't know if that made any sense, but here we have my 2 halves. So I'm going to start with this half over here, and I'm just going to line it up to the edge of the page. Where are my tweezers? My thumb is so useless. And I'm just going to stick this right along the edge of the page. I'm not going to do the edge of the grid. I'm doing the edge of the page, like just a millimeter or so, maybe 2 millimeters away from the edge of the page. And then I'm going to do, this was the other side of that one. Okay, so then I'm going to do this one underneath it. And see, since this one is not as full, it makes a nice like little bordered edge that's not super uniform all the way down, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Uniform is a better word. I should have used uniform. It's okay. And then I need to take this next one. I'm thinking 4 was like the perfect number to cut for this for some reason, but maybe not. I don't know. Okay, and then this is the last one. Yeah, that fit perfectly. Wow, looks so cute. I'm already super happy with that. Okay, I'm going to take the skinny one for this other side and border the other side of the page here. And then the rest of these don't really matter which order I go in. I just didn't want them to be the exact same on both sides. So now that the page is beautifully bordered, I really like how that looks with the more neutral color. Honestly, that looks really cute. Now I'm going to take the log sticker, and I'm just going to do log again up here at the top. And I'm going to letter reading next to it and do part 1 because there's going to be a second page, a second 2 pages after this that I'm going to use for the other part. And I'm going to go ahead and border the top of this with the skinny washi just to frame the page a bit more. And I think I'm also going to do this on the bottom of the page too, because I never really like go all the way down to the bottom, and I think it'll look nice if the page is like fully framed. Plus it helps me use up my skinny washi. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and, do I want to use this up here? I have this really cute Proud Bookworm sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co., and I don't know if I want to use it or not. I think it's going to take up too much space. So I think I'm just going to leave it off. And instead we're going to grade out the actual table. Okay, and I'm going to start with using the first half of the page as the marker to kind of split it in half. So the first side, I'm going to make the date I started the book, date I finished the book, and then the second half, I'm going to make the page numbers and then the title of the book. And that's just going to make it the easiest for me to work with. This ruler doesn't go all the way to the edge of the page, but that's okay. And I'm just going to split this column, I don't know, let me do like, I guess 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perfect. Okay, so then I'm just going to do another line straight down in the middle here to separate out the columns for the date started, date finished. And then I'm only going to leave, I think, 4 squares for the page numbers, like number of pages in the book, because if I'm reading anything over 1,000 pages, I will be shocked. I do enjoy really long fantasy books, but if it's over 1,000 pages, I don't know if I'd be willing to grasp, like fully grasp how long that book is yet. But who knows, I might surprise myself. And then on this other side of the page, I'm going to do the author and then the 5-star rating. But I don't think, I'm just going to split the page in half again. It should be fine. So I'm just going to do another line all the way down through half the page, which I'm using the little marker, the little plus sign in the center of the page to help me figure out where half is. And then I'm going to, let me do one of my star stickers for reference, so that way I don't mess up where the line needs to go, and I leave enough space for these, because I love using these to actually keep track of my star ratings, but I need to leave enough space for the heading as well. So I'm going to do 2 squares, I think. That should be perfect. And then I'm going to take my ruler again and just draw a line on the other side of that, and that will be where I'd use the authors. Okay, and now we're just going to title everything out. So I'm going to leave 2 squares at the top for the titles. And then I'm just going to take my fountain pen and write down the actual titles of the sections. So this is started, finished, page numbers, book title, author / authors, and then rating and notes. Okay, and I think I'm going to just leave that 1 star sticker on here. Previously I was doing, you only get 2 lines per book, but I think for 2026 I want to leave a little extra space in case I want to put more notes over here. I am keeping track of books and like a more book review type thing in my health planner, I think is where I put it this year. So I don't need too much space, but I just want to wait before I just like put all of those stickers down. So there's that. So this is part 1 of the reading tracker. I will set up part 2 if I make it to part 2. I don't think that I want to set up both pages yet. So I'm just going to leave the reading tracker alone and leave it at this for the moment. And we're just going to move on to the next section, which is the running log. Something I definitely need to do more of in 2026, and I'm hoping to do more of in 2026. So I'm just going to, again, title this page out as log. And I'm just going to do running next to it. And I'm going to take that skinny washi again to just frame the top portion of the page. And I have a more in-depth running log that I'm doing in my health planner again, but I still want to have a memory of like a long list of all of them in here. So I am going to grid this out with the different sections that I keep track of. So let's do a little title section. And then the things that I keep track of are date, the time that I ran, so like the amount of time I was running, the distance I went, the pace I went, and then also any notes. So I think, again, I'm just going to cut the section or the page in half just to make it easy to work with. And I think I'm going to do maybe like 5 squares for pace, and then leave the rest of that other column for notes about my run. And then for distance, I'll probably just do like another 5 squares, maybe 6 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then same with like the dates. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. I'll just do 6, 6, and then 6 for the final. Section. And then we'll title these out. And I do want to add a couple of stickers to this just to make it a bit more fun looking, because I think that's also what really deters me sometimes, is if it doesn't look fun enough, then I'm not going to use it. Not saying like my planner is the reason why I didn't run last year, or this year, but it's always more fun when you go to a spread that looks really cute, at least for me, and it makes me more encouraged to want to fill it out. So date, time, distance, pace, and notes. Nice and easy. And the stickers I want to use are from my shop. I have my running icons and then my shoe doodles. And I think I just want to do a couple like here and there. And these are on the clear mat. I thought about doing white mat, but I think clear mat is what I prefer. And I'm just going to do a couple. Like, I'm not going to do anything wild here. But that way it looks a little bit more fun, because like there's shoes and runners on the page. Like, that could be me, you know? Okay, after that I have my date night log, which again is pretty simple and straightforward, and I'm just going to put log and then date night next to here at the top. And I think I want to use some other stickers to frame this out, but let me do this first. We're just going to write date night right there, and then take that skinny washi again, just to frame the page. And I think I'm going to do the bottom two on this one. And this other page. We're just going to bring it all the way over. Okay, and then let me see if I can find my other stuff. Okay, I think these are the ones that I want to use because we have a little ramen and flowers, which are very date-like items for me. I love going to get ramen. It's so good. These are both from Sticky Club. The artist behind this one is 𝗦𝘃𝗃𝗵, and then this one is Dear Elaine Co. And I think I'm just going to put them both at the bottom like this to just frame the page. Alternatively, I can do, ouch. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm okay. I'm not bleeding. Alternatively, I can do this like in the corners, but I think I like them both at the bottom a bit better. I don't know, now that I put them in the corners, I'm thinking maybe I should do the corners so it balances both sides. Man, this is so silly. I'll just do the corners like this. It's fine. I think it looks better. And I'm just going to place that one slightly tilted, and then this one also slightly tilted. And then when it comes time to write down my dates, I'm just going to write down the actual date of the year that we went, and then write a little bit about what we did. I think I'm going to add some stars here. We need a star or two. Let's do two. We'll do a red one down here and a red one up here. And then I'll add a little bit of the page freckles. I think it's so cute. I love it so much. Okay, next I think is just the back of the planner itself. I'm going to do the 2027 mind map, obviously, when it gets closer to the end of the year and I decide what planners I want then. Oh, I am going to go ahead and glue this Flyleaf down as well, because I don't really use it. I mean, it's an extra notes page, but I don't really want it, so I'm just going to glue this down. And since it's the back, I'm just going to use my hand to push this down and not worry about it. Because if it's lumpy, it's the back of the planner. It doesn't matter. I am going to decorate this off camera. I'm going to do essentially the exact same thing that I did here with the just random stickers from that washi tape shop roll. So that way it looks the same in the front and the back. But I am going to do both pages back here. So I'm going to, it's going to look something like this. Yeah. And then I am going to put the clear cover on after that. The last thing we need to do is tabs, and I know for sure I want to do the chili pepper tabs because of the red. I know for sure I want to do these, but I need one more set of tabs to do with the planner, and I don't know if I want to do black tabs or if I want to do the stone gray tabs. Because I'm thinking, like, based on the colors I have on the front here, I have a lot of black and gray. I could do a blue, but I feel like I don't want to do red and blue together because I think it's a little too patriotic. Which, nothing against that. It's just I don't want the colors like that on my planner. But I'm thinking maybe like red and black would look really good together. But I also feel like red and gray would look really good together. I think I'm going to do... I think I'm going to do the gray just because I think the black might be too bold, because the red is already very bold. And I feel like this just softens a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to do the red for the weeklies, and then I'm going to do the gray for the daily section. And then I'm going to go in with the 𝗏𝗏𝗁 maybe tabs for the ones that I want to write on, or I can use more of the chili pepper ones. We'll see about which ones I decide to use for writing purposes of like the extra things in the planner. But for sure, I definitely want to do the red for the weeklies, and I think I'm going to do the gray for the dailies. So let's go to the back of the daily section here, and we're just going to start with December and work my way up. If you've never used tabs before, I will do a brief demonstration because I feel like this is just, I don't know, something I like to do now. But these are tabs from my shop. They are kiss cut individually to be tiny, so there is a tiny perforated line that helps them bend over very easily. You line up the edge of the page with the delineating line on the tab, and that way all of your tabs evenly stick out of the planner. You can also line it up with grid inside if you want to, but I just find that lining it up with the edge of the page is the best. And I am going to essentially follow the shaded section on the book because I think that'll work well. But I want to make sure that whenever I flip the tab, it opens to the header page of the month. And I'm going to try to line this up as best I can. And I always like to wait to flip all of my tabs, like fully seal them onto the planner until I have all the tabs down. And that way I can decide if I need to move any of them or whatever. So I'm going to just buzz through this really quick. It's going to be lots of paper rustly sounds, and then I will be back and we'll flip them all over together. Okay, so that is it for the daily tabs. I'm just going to hold this up to myself and make sure they look even, and they do. So I'm going to go ahead and fold these over. And if you're worried about the rest of the tabs on the bottom here, I am probably not going to use them. I might handwrite them. I may use them. I don't know. We'll figure that out in a little bit. But right now I'm just going to flip the tab to the correct page and make sure it's going where I want, and I'm not accidentally like folding multiple pages into the tab, because I really do that. So I'm just trying to be more conscious of my tab folding, I guess, to make sure it's folding correctly and to the page that I want. Okay, so that is it for the daily tabs. Now let's go ahead and do the weekly tabs. And I'm going to do my best to match them with the ones I put down for the dailies. So we will see how this goes. But essentially for the weekly tabs, I want, whenever I flip the page, for it to land on the first of the month. So even if the first of the month is like all the way on a Sunday, I still want it to land on the first every single time. So this one, December 1st, starts here. So I'm going to place the tab to where it'll flip when I open the page to this section. So let's grab December. And placing a second set of tabs is a little bit more challenging than placing only one set. Oop, and I just separated my tab. So I'm just going to bring this really close to me because once I get the first one down, usually it lines up really easily after that. And there we go. So I'm pretty sure that's lined up pretty well. And since I accidentally separated my tab, which is fine, I'm just going to show you guys how I fix this. I'm just going to flip the page over and using my tweezers, carefully line up the edge of the tabs together so they are together and not going to stick to anything else. Then we need to go through to November. So November starts on this Sunday, so we need to put the tab on this side. And then I'm going to leave the rest of these open while I set them down. And then at the end, I will fold them over like I did with the dailies. There's October 1st. Okay, so all of those are down. I didn't do a very good job of lining them up with the dailies. Oh gosh, come on. Release, release, release. Okay, there we go. Like they don't match up perfectly with the daily tabs, and that's okay. I think I spaced them a little bit farther out from each other versus the daily ones are a little bit overlapping. I don't really care enough to move all of them, so I'm just going to flip them over and move on with my life. And then we will do the other tabs that I'm going to handwrite here in a second. But I would just want to make sure that every time I flip the tab, it goes to the first of the month for that month. So February, March, April, so on. All right, all of those are done. Okay, so the last tabs I want to do are for the extra sections. So I want to do a tab for the trackers here at the front. So I think I'm going to do I want to do the blue or the red? I think I am going to do the blue. And it's like a soft enough blue. I don't think it's going to look too patriotic. Versus like if I did the darker blue, I think this will be okay. But I'm going to write on these using my Uni Jetstream. And so the first one I want to do is the adulting log. So I'm just going to put adult period. And I'm just going to flip through this as I go. And then I'm going to do the same word on the opposite side. So that way it looks the same from both sides of the planner. And then I have a goals section, which I think I will just handwrite as well. So that way it's more uniform looking. I do have a goals sticker on, like a goals tab on the other sheet. But for my OCD and brain purposes, I like that bit better. Then we have a quarterly section. So I'm just going to do quart. And then we have the yearly section, which again, I have a tab for that already, but I'm just going to handwrite it for uniformity's purposes. And these tabs you can write pretty much with anything on them. I just like using the Jetstream because I'm impatient and it dries fast. The next section is habits. And then after habits, we have the meal planning section. Oh no, I folded a page. Oh well. Okay, so then we have meals. And I thought about doing another set of tabs for the meal section, but I think that would just be too many sets of tabs. So I'm just going to use my index tabs at the top to like thumb through that section. Then I have my recipes. And then I realized as I was putting the tabs on, I forgot about this other monthly in here, which is the 2027 of January. I'm hoping I can use this at some point to document baby things if I become pregnant. So I'm going to leave it blank for now, but that's what I'm intending to use this for, is like, you know, mom baby things. Then after the monthlies and weeklies and dailies, the other ones I want to tab here in the back are the reading section. So reading log. So I'm just going to do read. And then I have a running log. Okay. So I'm just going to do run. And then dates is the last one. Okay. And that is all for the tabs. Okay, we're going to do these from the front forward this time, so that way I can line them up on the sides the way I want. So the first tab we need to put on here is the adulting log. And I'm just going to do it a little bit from the top. And I'm going to wait to flip that over as well in a second. And then we have goals. And here's how I'm going to line it up. I'm going to take the previous tab and kind of not lay it on the page, but get it pretty darn close. And then just put this other tab right next to it. And then try not to stick the two pages together. Yep, okay. And then we have the quarterly section after that. Okay, and then we have the yearly section next. And then after the yearly section, yeah, we have the habits. Habits. And then after that is the meals. It's spaced kind of far down. I'm going to move that up just a little bit. I like that better. How are these looking? Oh wow, they're kind of spacey. Let me go back and move this meals back down then. If they're all that kind of spaced out, I'd rather they stay that spaced out. Oh my gosh. Okay, that looks good. And then we have the recipe monthly. And I'm just going to do this one this direction because it's so far from the other edge of the book. Okay, and then I'm just going to fold these over because the rest of the tabs go in the back, and I'm just going to start another section at the top and go down. But there's adulting, there's goals, there's quarterly, there's the yearly, habits, and meals, and then recipe. Okay, looks good. Now let's go to the back where reading is the first one. And I'm just going to fold this one straight over because there's only 3 back here, so it's going to be easier to space them. And then after reading, we have running. And then after running, that tab is so crooked, Danielle. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just gonna try to lift it up a little bit. Freaking thumb is handicapping me. Ouch. Okay. Let's reposition you just slightly more. It's still crooked. It's fine. I'm just over it. It'll be fine. And then date night log is the last tab. Okay, and that is it for all of the tabs. Let's see how we look put together. I like it. How does it look with the cover? I love the red popping through. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. I never thought I would love red so much right now, but I really do. I think that looks so fun. It's such a bright pop of color too. Okay, I'm very happy with that. All right, I'm going to stop for now. I'm going to go in here, fill out this part, fill out my goals, and then when I come back, I will show you guys a full flip through of the whole book completed. But as for now, I think I'm going to stop here and then finish all of that stuff off camera, just so this video isn't like 5 hours long. And yeah, I will be back to show you guys the final finished product, but see you guys in a second. All right, we are now going to do a final flip through of this beautiful baby here. I am super happy with how this turned out. I did change up a little bit of the things inside since the last time I filmed, but I'll share everything I used and kind of describe, I guess, how I did it. But starting with the front cover here, I just have assortment of vinyls from my sticker shop, and I was reusing the stars and stuff from the collection of star stickers that I have that I'm working my way through. I really don't know where I got them from, I'm sorry, but that's how the front turned out. I absolutely love how the inner cover turned out with the Washi Tape Shop's winter tape here. This one is the pre-cut frosted letters, which is what I used for the 2026. And then the other one I used is the Frosted Meadow, and that's the one where I kind of piece parted all of the more vintage looking, like dried florals look. I'm so happy with how it's turned out. I really am. Then I glued the Flyleaf page to the cardstock and added in my own dashboard here, or vision board, whatever you want to call this. I made this on Canva, just using images that I either found on Pinterest or Canva or on the internet. I don't own any of these images. Then on the Year at a Glance page here, I plan on using this for pain tracking. I made a little key that flips out that has all of my little dots on it, and I just decorated the top a little bit more to make the page look a little bit more full. For the adulting log and the 52 weeks of cleaning, I went ahead and went back in and added in some decoration using another tape from the Washi Tape Shop. I don't have the label of this one, but it is a PET tape, and it's basically just like red and pink florals, and I really love this one, and it's kiss cut as well, so it's just easy to pull the stickers you want off of the roll. And I added in some more of these stars to just kind of keep that theme going throughout. I really like how this one looks compared to my current one in 2025, so I'm excited to keep developing this over time as I improve with my adulting log and cleaning. Then I went ahead and filled out all of my goals. So I didn't share this with you guys on camera originally. I just did the headings. So I wrote out all of my goals based on the timeline, and I added in yet again another roll of tapes from the Washi Tape Shop. And I just used these more vintage looking butterflies, and intermixed them with those star stickers, as well as a sheet that I had left over from Sticker Guru. I don't think Sticker Guru is still in business. I'm not sure, but they had like little tiny foil stickers that I really liked. Then I did the quarterly pages here, and I still didn't really do much with this because I'm not 100% fulfilled with my purpose of using this as like garden pet tracking situation. I do want to use the monthlies for the snapshots, and I just pulled some stickers off of the freebie sheets from my shop. I have been doing monthly names on all of my freebie sheets, so I just pulled off all of the ones that I still had. I plan on releasing these in a full sheet at some point, so stay tuned. But I still need to do a July and a December on this page. But I'm not sure about the rest of the page yet, so there's that. I also went ahead and filled out the yearly pages here for the Year at a Glance. I filled out the holidays, full moons, and birthdays, and I went through my tapes from the Coffee Monsters Co. and just chose a tape for each month. I think it correlates to the ones I already picked for another planner. And I went back in with the sparkly abbreviated months from my shop and layered them on top. And I like how this turned out. I feel like it looks very bordered, and I'm excited to just fill out the precipitation as the year goes on and my monthly stats, and I think it's going to be good. The stats I'm planning on tracking are how many books I've read, number of pages I read each month, how many miles I run, number of workouts, number of dinners out, and number of dates. So I'm going to try to track when my husband and I go on more dates now. And then at the bottom, I just added another one of those little key script stickers and the key for my rain and snow tracking, which I do plan on marking on the weekdays over here next to the actual weather for the day. And I just did the full year because the holidays and birthdays and stuff don't change, so I might as well just set it up in advance, and then that way I only have to come in here and fill out the precipitation and stuff. Then I went ahead and filled out my first month for the habit trackers. I was really tempted not to do this because I wasn't sure if I will want to track the same habits by the end of the year into January, but I think I will, just because I've been really slacking on a lot of things for my personal life and I want to get back into the routine of things. So I went ahead and just listed out all the habits I want to track for January and decorated again with some more of that 𝗏𝗏𝗵𝗺𝗃 tape and then some tapes from London Gifties over here. In case you're curious of what I'm tracking over here, I have reading, meditation, Spanish practice, Japanese practice, weightlifting, running, my daily walks, H2O or water intake, fruit intake, caffeine, soda, fast food, moisturizer, exfoliating, teeth, which is like brushing my teeth twice a day and flossing, hair, which is when I wash my hair, BM for bowel movements, conversation, left the house, 20 minutes outside, no stationary spending, if I'm doing my morning pages like I want in my morning page journal next year, and also my WIFI 5-year journal. I'm hoping to fill out that page every single day as well. So that's what I'm starting the year off with. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Then for the meal planner section, I didn't do anything here because I'm going to start using this once the year starts. And then I did my 2026 recipes of 2026 for the December 2025 monthly page. Basically just turned it into a collection page. I really like how this turns out. I love this vinyl cool beans from the Coffee Monsters Co. It makes me so happy. But I really am excited to kind of test out more recipes in 2026. Then I went ahead and filled out my monthly a little bit more. I added more of the stickers from the monthly kit from my shop. And then I also added in the tiny holidays from my shop as well for New Year's Day and Martin Luther King. And I hand wrote the full moon, new moon, and then like the birthdays I have going on in January that I want to keep track of. I also added in my little grid down here for my sleep, mood, and stress graph. Since I keep this in my health planner in like its own section in the back with the habits, I tried to do that with the habit trackers in this book, but ultimately found that it didn't really sit well with me having it on this page. So I moved it to the monthlies and I really like how it's worked out. Let me just show my 2025 one here. For September, this is what ultimately I want it to kind of look like in the end. So it's going to have all of like my monthly recaps, and then it's also going to have this graph down here with the marker being sleep this time, and then my 2 line graphs being mood and stress. So I kind of want to go through it with that. I also want to add in astrology at some point to this side, but I wasn't prepared to do that yet, so I waited, but this space is empty, and I do think the planner has enough space here, at least for a little bit, if I need to continue that on the months that have the 6-month breakdown. So where there's a little less space down here. I think I'll be fine. But I just did January, and I plan on setting up the rest of the months as the year goes on this time, just because I think it brings me a little bit more joy to kind of touch base with my planner on a monthly basis. Then after the monthlies, there is one more monthly that I kind of transformed, and I forgot to talk about this when I was doing my initial like setup part of this where I was walking through the whole thing. I am hoping to use this as a collection page for when I get pregnant, so I can use it for like me updates or baby updates or something. I just decorated it with some more of that same washi from the Planner Monkey Co. and then Simply Gilded, and then I added a couple vinyls from my shop. This is the new Spirit Elemental vinyl, and then I did a 999 numerology vinyl here as well. And I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this yet, but I know I want to dedicate it to like my baby journey. So I'm just gonna leave the sticky note there for now, but I just wanted to decorate it so it looked kind of seamless with like the other collection in this planner. Then there's the weeklies, which I just tabbed out with these amazing red tabs. I'm so happy with the chili tabs that I did. They're so fun and bright and in your face, and I don't know. I know it's not for everybody, but I'm so happy with how they turned out, and I'm happy that they match the kind of red on the cover. It works. It's like seamless. I really like it. I also tabbed out all of the daily section. I'm not planning on doing any of this until the year actually starts, and I will hopefully share with you guys like how I use these pages once they're filled up, but it's going to be like my currently inked over here and then daily journaling. Then after all the dailies, we have the notes pages, and I'm going to use this first notes page as an end of the year review. So I'm just going to leave that sticky note there until the end of the year. Then I have my reading log back here where I tabled this out to have my date started, date finished, number of pages in the book title, the author or authors of the book, my 5-star rating using my 5-star stickers from my shop, and then my notes over here about each book. I bordered the page with a tape from London Gifties again, and then that same Simply Gilded skinny washi. And I left the second page, or the second spread of pages, I guess, for my reading log part 2 blank, because I'm hoping to go through this, go to this when I start this page. Yeah. I also set up my running log, which has the date, time, distance, pace, and notes for all of the runs that I'm hoping to do in 2026. I really want to get back in the habit of running. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like this year I did myself a disservice by not running. Then I have my date night log, which I just decorated with some vinyls from the Sticky Club, and I hope to come in here and just write down the date and a little synopsis of what me and my husband go do for our date. Then the last thing in here is the index page in the very, very back that I'm going to save to do my 2027 mind mapping. It's what I like to do when I'm trying to plan out what I want for the next year in terms of planners. So I'm just going to save this as a dedicated space for that. Even if I don't end up doing a mind map, I just want this space to be for next year's plans. Then I went ahead and just finished the back over here with more of that washi tape shop tape. I love the dried florals of this. It just looks like I pressed the flowers in the page. I'm so happy with it. And I'm also planning on keeping the Bible reading plan from Nisha back here as well, just so that way I have it to reference for the journey that I'm going to go on in trying to read the entire Bible in 1 year. So it's going to be an interesting adventure for sure. But I am very happy with overall everything I did in this planner. The last thing I guess I can show you guys is the back cover, and it's essentially a collection of stickers from What I Love. Oh my gosh, the clear cover is stuck. No. It's like whenever you put the clear cover on at first, it always does this. It's just because it's not used to being on a planner yet. Don't panic, okay? It's just, it'll adjust. It just needs time to warm up to the book. Anyways, the back of the planner here, I did my Buc-ee's vinyl, my beloved In and Out vinyl that I've had for way too long, and then this lovely vinyl that I got from a pen friend. It says it's not the heat, it's the humidity, with a little gator on it. And this is just kind of like a collection of things that either make me laugh or I really enjoy. Really love In and Out, and I really love Buc-ee's, so this is just kind of a continuation of that. And it's a continuation of the red that I kind of pulled through from the front. So you can see the red tabs on the side, red on the front, and red on the back, and more red tabs on the back like this. I like all the red. I don't know, the red is just calling to me. And I think it's because I really want to pair this 𝗤𝗵 pencil board that I got from 𝗦𝘃𝗵 with it, because it's bright red, and I just feel like it's going to look so cute with like the red and the red. I don't know. I just was feeling the red. Anyways, that is all I have for my journey planner setup. I am very excited to use this again for 2025, or sorry, for 2026, geez. And I'm also excited to see how the planner chunks out, since I am only going to be in this one planner in terms of like my all-in-one for 2026. In case you were curious, I'll just share my current one. So this one is my 2025 book. This will be my 2026. And 2025 got a little bit chunkier, but it's not as chunky as I think it could have been. So I'm excited to see how big this planner gets. Maybe I'll do like a planner weight or something in the back. I don't know. Anyways, if you have any questions about this book, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions about any of the supplies I used in this video, let me know down in the comments. I know this one was a long one, so if you made it all the way through, I highly appreciate you. Like, thank you so much. Like, it's just so much fun to create these videos, and I really enjoy sharing how I set up my books every single year. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.